Sudanese war could spill over into Ethiopia. UN. The United Nations Security Council has warned that the conflict in Sudan, which is escalating and increasingly global in scope, could spill over into neighboring countries, especially Ethiopia. This could be due to the intensification of fighting, the proliferation of weapons, and the movement of armed groups across unprotected borders, it said. Briefing the Security Council, Khaled Eth Eri, the UN Under-Secretary General for Political and Peacebuilding Affairs, said the fighting had recently shifted to Sudan's Kordofan state. Sudanese forces captured the town of Babanusan in the Gore region on December 1st and the Heglig oil field on December 8th, and that major towns in South Kordofan remained under siege. He added that the cross-border movement of armed groups, as is happening between Sudan and South Sudan, has the potential to destabilize the region. Analyst Cameron Hudson said the conflict had become a global war fueled by cross-border arms, financial, and political networks. He told the council that we are mistaken if we think these same networks will not support future wars in Chad, South Sudan, or Ethiopia, stressing the risk of the conflict spreading to neighboring countries that are not easily stable. Hudson said the war had moved beyond a traditional conflict into a war fought with modern weapons from different countries. The weapons are also reaching Sudanese warring parties through Chad, Libya, the Central African Republic, South Sudan, and the Somali Puntland state, he said. If these arms supply chains continue unchecked, they could fuel new conflicts beyond Sudan's borders. UN officials have expressed concern over the widespread and indiscriminate use of drone strikes. Eth Eri cited attacks on civilian facilities such as kindergartens and hospitals, including the UN logistics hub in Kadugli. He said 6 peacekeepers serving in the Abyei peacekeeping force have been killed. Sudan is currently flooded with weapons, and the unrestricted flow of weapons is a major factor in the ongoing fighting. Officials said the humanitarian consequences of the war are dire and worsening. The UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs Emergency Response Director, Ed Mwozornu, said Kordofan State was becoming the new epicenter of violence. Humanitarian needs in Darfur remain dire. The director noted widespread atrocities, sexual violence, and the denial of life-saving aid. She also warned that the health service was on the verge of collapse due to repeated attacks on health facilities this year. The Security Council called for concerted action to prevent the escalation of violence in the region and its spillover to other countries. In addition, the speakers of the council called for accountability for those responsible for the outbreak of the war and urged strong measures, including a broad arms embargo, to prevent the Sudanese conflict from causing widespread instability in Ethiopia and other countries in the Horn of Africa.